far as I can tell, all of you know Dr. Artie Dean, who's a dentist by training, but has done significant amount of work in hypnosis and used it in his dental practice. And so we're very happy to have you back, Artie. And if anybody missed his last session on hypnosis, those are available on YouTube and you should watch them. Take it away, Artie.
Okay. Well, maybe just to get some idea, kind of what material to present. Raise your hand if you were on the last Zoom. All right. So most people. So we won't repeat a lot of the introductory type of material, and I had kind of gone over a lot of material about what hypnosis really is. And of course, we know that it's not really sleep, although people in hypnosis can appear to be sleeping, but usually their attention is hyper-focused. It's a state of increased focus. And last time we did a relaxation technique where we just did some deep breathing, and I'm going to repeat something like that today. The interesting thing about hypnosis is that it has so many uses, and it's a technique that kind of all of us do sometimes, during our day. You zone out while you're driving and realize that some part of your brain is driving and disassociated with the part that's daydreaming. You go to a movie and you're so engrossed, in the movie that you don't realize that, maybe that your seat is very uncomfortable. You're kind of hyper-focused. Now, one interesting aspect of this is if you know anything about subliminal advertising and why that's so controversial when people use it. Subliminal advertising is a way that advertisers convince people to buy their products by putting secret messages usually in movies or in radio programs. And basically what it is the person inserting a message like buy Coke. And it might flash on the screen so quickly that you're not even aware of it. But then later when you take a break, you say, oh, I could really use a Coke. And you go and buy a Coke or buy popcorn. And you accept it as your own. And I think that is a little bit, we didn't talk about that last time, but I think that is a little bit verging on hypnosis, and it maybe explains some of the phenomenon that we see in our world. I mean, especially with the world so fractured and everybody, without being political, just talking about information on the internet affecting us because it's repeated again and again. I think when material is repeated again and again, it has a little bit of a hypnotic effect. And that may explain why people take up that information and they own it. And maybe we don't really fully understand it. Anyway, that's my opinion. I don't know that anybody could prove that. However, when you use hypnosis for relaxation, it takes you to a place where you can accept this suggestion from the person who's, let's say they're doing hypnosis on purpose to help you. They can accept a suggestion that you give while they're in deep relaxation, much more than if you're just having a casual conversation. So if you're in deep, deep relaxation, which we're going to practice, someone can do that for you, a hypnotist or somebody trained in those techniques. but you can also do it for yourself. And that's what we sort of left off at last time, auto-hypnosis. So we're going to try at least to talk about that, if not perfect it. So the whole gamut exists in the human condition. And I don't think hypnosis is a technique that didn't exist. Let me rephrase that. The ability to go into a state of hypnosis probably always existed in human, as long as there have been human beings. It just now it's formalized in people who have harnessed those techniques. And maybe people have even been able to hypnotize themselves, going to school, thinking about something that's going to make you really, really nervous. So you repeat something again and again, like I'll be calm, I'll be calm, I'll be calm. And you say it again and again to yourself. Maybe that's something that a kid would just naturally do. Or the bully is going to get to you after school and you say, I will run fast, I will run fast. And you do run fast. And by repeating it in your mind, you can affect how your body reacts. So the key to that is in using that is to try to perfect that ability in yourself. If you decide that this is for you, or you might just be listening and say, oh, that's kind of interesting, but I'll never use it. But health professionals are increasingly realizing that there is a big benefit to using these techniques. Specifically, I learned it because I wanted to use it more and more in my periodontal practice. And I do a lot of surgical techniques, periodontists, we do dental implants, and people are understandably nervous about that. So, for me, it's all about using it for relaxation for somebody, reducing their level of anxiety, and also reducing pain. So people in hospitals and clinics, we all realize that there's a lot of overuse of opioids. It's a terrible epidemic. So using alternatives has gained traction over the years, because using a hypnotic technique to relax a person or to relieve pain in a chronic pain situation seems to be so much more sensible than having a chance of them getting hooked on drugs. So getting back to what I had alluded to, the idea of using hypnosis to get a suggestion is that when you're very, very relaxed, you can tell yourself something that you want to achieve. You can use that power that the mind has to maybe help you for something. So, you might say, well, that's easy. I could just do anything I want. I say I want to go to the grocery. Okay. That's easy. You don't need hypnosis for that. It says, oh, I want to read a book every week. All right. You could do that. But what if you say, I can't give up cigarettes. I've tried, I've done it a million times. Well, hypnosis turns out to be very, very helpful for people who really want to give up smoking. It's one of the better ways of smoking success. Stop smoking. The other thing that it's very good at is weight reduction, or just even healthier eating. And that's a very difficult thing. So just like people are addicted to smoking and drugs, we all get addicted to our favorite foods. And sometimes it's good for us, but sometimes it's not so good for us. Sometimes, we're eating pizza all the time. You say, oh, if I could only stop eating pizza, if I could only stop eating chocolate. So it turns out that using a suggestion to yourself, using auto-hypnosis is a way to maybe help, and either you can have a hypnotist who will do it for you, or you can kind of do it yourself. And there are some standardized ways of doing it. You could walk around and just say, eat right, eat right, eat right. Don't eat chocolate, don't eat. But by doing it in a formalized way, I think it works better. So maybe we're going to do some demonstrations. Anybody who feels like, hey, they don't want to be involved in this or listen, you can either turn down the sound or you could turn it off. I won't be offended. Most people sort of had a very positive reaction. I got a lot of nice comments from last time when we did do technique. Maybe we'll do some more today, and I'll teach you at least a standardized way of that people teach auto-hypnosis. So let's perhaps start off with stress reduction, because that's sort of everybody, especially this year, we can all use a little bit of that. So we did some deep relaxation technique last time. This will be kind of with a similar attitude, but what I want to do is get you in a way that you can teach yourself to go into the, well, the truth is we call it a trance, but we teach yourself to go either into deep relaxation, trance, mindfulness, whatever you want to call it, but you can go into a place by using your imagination, and you can use the power of your mind. 80% of people can do this. That means 20% can't. They just don't have the talent. Like some people can dunk. I could never dunk a basketball, although I would have loved to. But some people have a talent at that. And some people are great at going into hypnosis. They can go so deep that you could remove a tooth. I have never done that, but it's claimed. But I have had a lot of experience where I've relaxed somebody so much that they'll tell me, I did not feel you giving me local anesthetic, and now just go ahead and do your work, and I'm relaxed and I trust you, and that means a lot. But we're gonna just do a couple of little practice things so you could see and test yourself whether or not you have this ability. The whole idea of being successful at hypnosis or auto-hypnosis is to sharpen your imagination and your ability to let yourself go a little bit. So just for our purposes and to have like a little fun, let's just take a look. You all know what this is? It's not an S-Rogue. It's a lemon. So I just want you, for the purposes of our talk, I want you to see if you can use your imagination and your mind to affect your physical being. So I've showed you that lemon. What I want you to do, be in a comfortable position. Just close your eyes for a moment and just relax. And I want you to take 3 deep breaths through your belly. We talked about this last week. Letting your belly really rise, holding the breath for 3 seconds, and slowly let it out. And 2, take a deep breath through your belly and slowly let it out. And again, 3, deep, deep, deep through your belly and slowly let it out. And now for the purposes of our discussion, with your eyes closed and feeling very relaxed, I want you to imagine that you're going to walk over to an imaginary refrigerator. Maybe you're in your kitchen, maybe you're somewhere else in the house, wherever you are. Imagine that you're in the room with your refrigerator, and you get up and you walk over to the refrigerator. Maybe you hear the sounds of your feet, the steps on the tile. And you go over to the refrigerator and you imagine yourself taking hold of the handle of the refrigerator and opening the refrigerator. And maybe you hear the airlock open. Maybe you don't. It's up to you. And you open up the refrigerator and you look inside and you imagine that there's a lemon on the top row. And you reach in. If you want to reach in now, just put your hand out. Take hold of that imaginary lemon. Take it out, feel it in your hand, feel the texture of it, Feel the little bumps on the end. Feel how it's cool in your hand. Imagine that. Just imagine that. Use your imagination. Try to do it with your eyes closed, thinking about it. Now imagine you're holding it to your nose and take a little breath and sniff that smell of that lemon in. And feel the texture again with your hand, feeling the coolness to your hand. And imagine now that you have a knife and you open that lemon. You cut the lemon from end to end and you cut it in half. And now you look at the flesh of that lemon and it looks so tart. And when you cut it, the smell of it just overwhelms you, like it's so tart, and it just goes right into your nose, and you take a deep breath and you smell that. And now you imagine yourself, for our purpose, you imagine taking that lemon and leaning your mouth over to it, and you open your mouth and you take a bite and you feel the flood of that tart liquid. And it's overwhelming and it's delicious, but it's so, so tart. Now, in a moment, I'm going to count to 3 and you can open your eyes again. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, by a show of hands, how many people felt saliva in their mouth? Okay.
Wow.
So a good number of you. So that happens in life all the time, but we're just playing around to show you that you can harness the imagination of your mind. And that's a big part of using auto-hypnosis and training yourself to go into hypnosis, is that ability to imagine things. And last time, I think we used maybe the imagination that you were on the beach. And I told you you could smell the salt air. And using that is a way for you to go into a different place. Let's just put it at that. I'm going to do one other for you, and I want you can keep your eyes open now, and I'm going to put my hands together and lace my hands together, and I want you all to do that. Try to do that in a comfortable position so I can kind of see your hands, and kind of grasp them together and hold them fairly tightly with your thumbs kind of interlaced. And now I want you to just separate your index fingers so that they're parallel, sticking out like mine are. And now focus your attention on them. And imagine that suddenly those fingers are magnets. They're not fingers anymore, they're magnetic fingers. And you feel in your imagination, you picture what it would feel like to have them drawn together. They are attracting to one another. The magnets are just pulling your fingertips together. You can't resist it. You just let it happen. You just let it happen. You just let those fingers come together. And now, if you had closed your eyes, you can open your eyes. And just by a show of hands, tell me how many people's fingers came together? Okay. So most people, just about everybody. All right, so you are all candidates. You can all harness the power of your mind. Now, sometimes we harness the power of minds for good. And we tell ourselves good stories and we tell ourselves good things in life. And other times, the things we tell ourselves that affect our body are not so good. Like you walk into a room where you realize you have to give a presentation and you're so scared that you can't do it. Or your heart starts racing so much, you start to sweat, you feel sick, maybe even go to throw up. I used to play Little League when I was a kid, and I was the pitcher. And before every game, when I was 10 years old, I would lose my lunch. I couldn't help it. It was just like my nerves were just overcoming. I got over that. But I mean, this is the kind of thing that our mind can do to our body. And so to the extent that you can harness your mind to improve your life, that's kind of like what it's all about. That's why people kind of dabble in this. So Now that I see that you can all do the fingers, and most of you said that you could feel the lemon, let's try a stress reduction technique where I'm going to be the one doing the suggesting. And then after that, I'll go over the self-hypnosis. I'm choosing the stress reduction technique. I could choose a million things, but that's something that sort of everybody agreed that we got stress in our lives that we wish we could control. You know, so we could do that. If we have time, I could do a weight reduction, healthy eating kind of suggestion to you, and just for the fun of it. So get yourself into a comfortable position. And the most important thing I can teach you again is that breath, that deep cleansing breath, which stretches your vagus nerve, releases all sorts of wonderful chemicals into your brain, gives you a sense of well-being. That's why it's the cornerstone of meditation, the cornerstone of relaxation techniques, mindfulness, and hypnosis. So just for our purposes, put your hand on your belly. Just practice taking a deep, slow breath, filling up your belly, feeling your hand rise, maybe holding it for the count of 3, and then slowly let it out. And 2, take a deep, deep, deep breath, letting your hand rise, feeling relaxation, and slowly let it out. And 1 more, deep, deep, deep breath. Hold it, feeling the relaxation, and slowly letting it out. Keeping in mind that some people late at night will fall asleep. The idea of this is not to fall asleep, but is to become relaxed and try to learn the technique for relaxing yourself. I'm going to be doing it now, but you can listen to a tape later, or you can develop your own script, your own ideas, and repeat it to yourself. You can even record it to yourself and repeat it again and again and train yourself. The idea is repetition can change your mind and the way you react to stress. So get yourself comfortable. I'm going to help you to learn the skill of deep relaxation, which is so important for stress reduction, stress management, and overall health and well-being. Sit comfortably in a relaxed position and concentrate your mind fully on these instructions. Take a deep breath, and as you let it out, allow your eyes to fall shut. Let your body begin to relax and unwind. Take another deep breath, and as you exhale, let it carry all the tension out of your body. Allow a feeling of peacefulness to descend over you. A pleasant, enjoyable sensation of being comfortable and at ease. Now turn your attention to your body and begin to pay close attention to the sensations and signals you can detect. Find the place or the muscle that is most strongly tensed or exerted, and allow it to let go of its hold. Begin to let all your muscles, all over your body, give up their hold and begin to go limp. Now direct your attention to the top of your head and allow a feeling of relaxation to begin there. Allow it to spread downward through your body. Let the small muscles of your scalp relax. Let the muscles of your forehead relax. Devote special attention to your forehead and feel the muscle there giving up its hold. Feel your eyebrows sagging down and let your eyelids become very heavy. Let all the muscles around the back and on the sides of your head relax completely. Imagine that your ears are even drooping under their own weight. Now let your jaw muscles relax, and now allow your jaw to drop slightly. Don't deliberately open or close your jaw. Just let it float freely. Allow the muscles of your cheeks and lips to relax and grow limp. Now all the muscles of your face and hands have given up their hold and are very relaxed. Now let the muscles of your neck relax slightly, keeping them exerted only enough to hold your head upright and balanced easily in position. Let your shoulders become heavy and sag downward as you relax the muscles that come down from the sides of your neck to the shoulders. Let the feeling of relaxation continue to spread downward to the muscles of your chest and upper back. Command those muscles to release their hold. You have no need of them for the time being. Let your shoulder muscles go completely limp, and let your arms rest heavily with your hands in your lap or on your thighs. Feel your arms growing very heavy. Relax all the muscles in your forearms, hands, and fingers. You have no desire whatever to move any single muscle in your entire body. Pay attention to your breathing for a few seconds and notice how it has become regular and shallow. Now let the feeling of deep relaxation spread fully down into your chest, down through the muscles of your back, and down into your arms. Your stomach will probably sag just a bit as the muscles release their hold. Relax the muscles of your sides, shoulder blades, and the small of your back. Let the muscles of your spine relax, the ones on either side of your spine that run from the base of your skull down to the tip of your spine. Keep them exerted, only enough to keep your back in position. Now relax the large muscles in your thighs. Let them go completely limp. Feel all your muscles so relaxed that they begin to feel as though they're turning to jelly. Your entire body is becoming profoundly relaxed. Relax the muscles of your buttocks and the muscles underneath your thighs. Let the muscles of your calves relax. Be sure to relax the muscles on the front of your lower legs and shin muscles. Let your ankles feel free and loose. Now wiggle your toes once or twice. Let all the little muscles of your feet give up their hold completely. Now your whole body is extremely relaxed. And we're going to concentrate on certain areas in order to increase this feeling of profound relaxation even more. Pay close attention to the sensations in your arms. By now, your hands and feet will have become somewhat warm due to the increased circulation of blood in them. Tune into this feeling of slight warmth and allow it to increase. Don't try to make it happen. Allow the feeling of pleasant heaviness and warmth to increase by itself. Simply observe the process and encourage it. Now let those same feelings of heaviness and warmth spread through your legs. Concentrate closely on the sensations in your legs. and let them become very, very heavy. Very heavy and very warm. Arms and legs becoming so heavy and so warm. Your entire body is profoundly relaxed. And you feel only a pleasant overall sensation of heaviness, warmth, and absolute peace. Now turn your attention to your breathing. And without interfering with your breathing in any way, simply begin to observe it. Feel the slow, peaceful rise and fall of your stomach as the breath moves slowly in and slowly out of your body. Allow your arms to feel extremely heavy and completely limp. Feel this growing sensation of warmth spreading out of your fingertips. Concentrate closely on the sensations in your legs and let them become very, very heavy. Very heavy and very warm. Arms and legs becoming so heavy and so warm. Your entire body is profoundly relaxed, and you feel only a pleasant overall sensation of heaviness, warmth, and absolute peace. Now turn your attention to your breathing, and without interfering with your breathing in any way, simply begin to observe it. Feel the slow, peaceful rise and fall of your stomach as the breath moves slowly in and slowly out of your body. Don't try to hurry it up or slow it down. Just act as a casual observer, taking a curious interest in this slow, steady process. Imagine you have just discovered the steady rising and falling of your stomach, and you are observing it with curiosity and respect. Wait patiently for each breath to arrive and notice its passing. Notice the brief periods of quiet after one breath passes and before the next one arrives. Now continue to observe this breathing process and begin to count your breaths as they arrive. As the first one comes, watch it closely and hear yourself say 1. Wait patiently for the next one and count 2. We're going to continue until we've counted 25 breaths, not allowing any other thoughts to distract you. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. 21. 22, 23, 24, and 25. Now you are deeply relaxed, and you can return to this peaceful state whenever you want to. Take a few moments to pay close attention to this relaxed feeling all over your body and memorize it as carefully as you can. Store the entire feeling of your whole body in your memory so that later you can retrieve it and relax yourself at will. Now, before you return to full alertness and activity, take plenty of time to wake up your body and bring it back up to its usual level. Wiggle your toes and fingers. Shrug your shoulders. Move your arms and legs a little bit, keeping your eyes closed for a few minutes longer. Make sure you can sense all parts of your body. Use your hands to massage your thigh muscles and the muscles in your arms. Move your head around a little bit. Now take a nice deep breath and allow your body to feel fully alive and flowing with plenty of energy. Now open your eyes. All right. So if you haven't fallen asleep and you're awake, raise your hand so I know you're awake. Okay. I'll assume the people that I can't see on the screen are awake. So if you let yourself go into this relaxation, you may compare it to other times that you've felt this. Maybe if you're an athlete, you're a runner, and you felt this feeling of profound relaxation when you went running. Or maybe you would feel it after a great massage. Somebody gave you a terrific deep tissue massage, and it was great, and you feel that way, and you feel deeply relaxed. Or maybe you were listening to music and you just felt the rapture of the music. Whatever it was, you've been tapping into this kind of feeling, this type of feeling, which we're trying to train you to relax at will. There are some people in the world that can never relax. They're just always, things upset them. They're nervous about things. And it interferes with their life. And other people just like to feel more relaxed. They don't have a problem with tension or anxiety or stress, but they do feel that they can always feel better. So let's talk a little bit about using self-hypnosis, either to do this type of technique for yourself, which you can anytime you want, or to give you self-suggestions. Time won't allow us to go into ways of weight management or changing habits, but that's all possible. But I'm going to teach you an overall technique that's recommended by the National Guild of Hypnotists, which is a group that I studied and gave me a certificate for my time and study with them. But you can probably get books about this. You can probably get tapes. But here you're going to get it from me. So it's a 3-step technique. And the idea is that you can't do everything all at once. You can't just read a book about it and then say, boof, now I can do this. You have to train yourself. And what we were doing this so far tonight was trying to train you, trying to get in touch with your ability of your mind to affect your body. And if you did feel relaxed, which from the looks of everybody, you look pretty relaxed to me, then you know that you have the ability, that you have the power to do that. because there was nothing else except my voice and your ability to follow along and believe that you wanted to be relaxed. So if you want to use this for your own purposes, I'm going to give you a technique. It has 3 different steps. The first part of it is what we call a pre-sleep technique. First, when you go to bed, starting tonight and continuing for the next 7 days, just before you're ready to go to sleep, because that's the time of the night when you are most susceptible to suggestion. So you will give yourself the following suggestion 10 times. Every day, in every way, I am getting better and better. And let's just all say it together. You're all muted, but I'll assume you're saying it. Every day, in every way, I am getting better and better. If you want to use this predominantly for relaxation, you can also do a different series of words. You can say, I am relaxed, I am calm, I am at peace. So try that. I am relaxed, I am calm, I am at peace. And now while you're saying the suggestion, imagine yourself in any way you can getting better and better, or if you use the relaxation, you're getting calm, relaxed, and at peace. So when you do this at night, in order not to fall asleep and not to lose count, every time you say the suggestion to yourself, press down with each finger of your hand. First, press down with the fingers of your right hand, and as you say it, go on the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, then move to your left hand, and again, press down each finger of your hand. This is to keep you from falling asleep and to keep track of how many times you're saying it. And the key is not just to say it, but to think it and imagine yourself getting better and better or more and more relaxed. So you're beginning to establish a habit pattern of properly programming yourself by giving yourself this positive suggestion before going to sleep. The next day, you'll find yourself reacting very positively to that suggestion as you try to continue to program yourself. Let's move on to the second step, and that's the induction. And now you've been doing this for a week. So every night you're repeating this. So now, in addition to doing this just before you go to sleep, I have more homework for you. You are to do the following twice a day, once in the morning or at noon, and once in the early evening. You will hypnotize yourself, staying in hypnosis for 2 to 3 minutes, and then wake yourself up. And here's how you're going to do it. You're going to sit in a comfortable chair with your back supported. You'll focus your attention effortlessly on a spot opposite you, slightly above eye level. Anything will do, anything that draws your attention. You'll take 3 deep breaths slowly. 1, 2, 3. Some people advocated counting backwards. So let's practice that. 3, 2, 1. And as you inhale your third breath, hold it for 3 full seconds and count again. 3, 2, 1. Then close your eyes, exhale, relax, and allow yourself to go into a deep, sound, hypnotic rest. You are to remain in hypnosis, your own doing, for approximately 2 to 3 minutes by counting down slowly, as we just did in the relaxation technique, from 25 to 1. It will help if you allow sorry about that. It will help if you will allow yourself to visualize or imagine each number being written on a blackboard or shown on a computer as you count backwards. When I do it for myself, I usually imagine the numbers on a blackboard and imagine a hand with an eraser from my youth in elementary school erasing the number. You may also use the image of an elevator going down from the 25th floor to the first floor with the numbers appearing and disappearing. So to awaken, you will just count forward from 1 to 3, and you will awaken refreshed and alert, ready to go about your business in an energetic way. So you do this exercise twice a day for 7 days, also doing the pre-sleep technique, which is repeating your new mantra of every day and every way I'm getting better and better. So you do this every night for 7 days and every morning for 7 days, after which you will be ready to give yourself your beneficial suggestions. This is what you've been working for. Let's talk about now using self-hypnosis. Step 3 is programming the suggestion. So the third step in self-hypnosis is to be started 1 week after you complete the exercises for step 1 and step 2. Once you start step 3, you no longer have to do step 2. So for step 3, you need a 3x5 card or a business card. You don't have to get it now, but you can easily get something that you can easily carry with you at all times. You write the suggestion you've prepared for yourself on the card. The suggestion should meet several criteria. It should be a positive suggestion. It should be very simple, something simple to think of, simple to achieve, and simple to remember. It should be believable. Don't tell yourself you're going to fly. It's not going to work. You might think you don't want to eat dessert as much. That'll work. It should be measurable. It should be something that you should be able to see a difference so you could be encouraged. And it should carry a reward. So you might think, if I eat healthy, my blood pressure will be lower. Or if I eat healthy, I will look great in my swimsuit on Ocean Beach next summer. Whatever it is, and you write that on the card. Now again, you sit down and choose a spot opposite you, like you did before, slightly above eye level, anything will do. And this time, instead of saying your mantra of every day I'm getting better and better, you hold the card in front of the spot and you read the suggestion to yourself 3 times. So for a while, I was trying to lose weight a while ago, and I would say, I will eat well. I will eat healthy. I will feel good. So the reward was I feel good. I will eat well. I will eat healthy. I will feel good. That's it. Make it, make it simple. If you're a smoker, which I don't think we have too many smokers, you'd say, every day I will refuse a cigarette and I will be healthy. Simple. Just keep it simple. Use your imagination. So you make sure the words on the card are believable to you and allow yourself to imagine accomplishing what is written on the card. That's the important thing, that when you read it, you use your imagination to imagine it actually coming true. Now you've written your suggestion on a card, you've chosen your spot, you read the suggestion to yourself 3 times. again and again. Now you drop the card and take your first deep breath and you exhale. You take your second deep breath like you did before and you exhale. Then you take your third deep breath and you hold it, close your eyes, count backwards from 3 to 1. 3, 2, 1. Exhale and let yourself go into hypnosis. At this point, instead of counting backward from 25 to 1, as you did in that first previously, allow the suggestion to repeat over and over in your subconscious mind. At the same time, imagine that you are carrying out your suggestion. So imagine you're eating a delicious salmon steak instead of a big, greasy, fatty hamburger. My wife suggested that. The vegan. At the same time, imagine that you're carrying out your suggestion. We talked about it. You'll find that at times the words start to break up and become fragmented. The interesting thing is, in talking about this, although I've never heard anybody lecture about it, that happens when you do prayer. And many of you are in the minyan in the morning, and you say the prayers, and sometimes you're focused on them, and sometimes they just kind of break up and disappear. Your mind wanders off, and you come back to it. So a similar thing can and will happen. So it's perfectly okay for that to happen. The important words or phrases will come through to you. In approximately 2 to 3 minutes, you'll have a feeling it's time to stop and wake up. Note that this time was set when you established a habit pattern in step 2. At this point, just count forward 1, 2, 3, open your eyes and go about your business, feeling refreshed and relaxed in every way. Give yourself time to allow the suggestions to take hold. Don't get discouraged and think it can't work. It can take up to 2 weeks to start getting the benefits related to your suggestion. I think as a common sense thing, I should put this together so that when Ella posts the video of the YouTube of this session, we can also have that maybe as a PDF, because I don't expect you to memorize everything that I just told you. And maybe the relaxation technique as well. So you can read it to yourself or record it to yourself. Or if anybody wants, I can do it for you. Just to review, the idea is to program yourself for a week. You're going to say in every way, every day in every way, I'm getting better and better, and picture it, whatever it might be, whatever you want to work on. And then after a week, twice a day, once in the morning, and then once maybe at noon, you will practice going into hypnosis by counting down from 25 to 1 with deep breathing. It may be difficult at first. It'll get easier, and don't give up and keep on doing it. The reason for doing it is to train yourself to go into this relaxed state. The third step will be giving yourself the suggestions. If you never do a third step and you just relax yourself once in a while, you're doing meditation. Or maybe you're letting yourself go into a light trance, and it's okay. But if you want to dabble in this and do self-hypnosis, you will add in that third step, when instead of just simply going into hypnosis and deep relaxation, you will begin to program yourself with what you want to repeat. If you don't want to bother with all these instructions, put yourself in a room, give yourself something you want to work on, deep breathe, and repeat it again and again and again, picturing yourself doing it. And probably you'll get very, very close to what you'll achieve with this. Anyway, I've enjoyed our time. The time goes a lot quicker than I could imagine. I don't want to run into the time of the minion. So if you want to unmute yourself, we have a few minutes for questions or comments, or you can't throw a tomato at me because it won't hit me.
We have, first of all, I would like to thank you very much, Artie. That was wonderful, and I feel wonderful. We can go a little bit after because we are on a different Zoom account. So whoever wants to go to Minion can just leave us and go to Minion. So there's no rush.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any thoughts?
So I have one.
Sure.
Can you do this on psychological things? Like, can you do auto hypnosis in, I'm going to be happier, I'm not going to be depressed, I'm going to be, I don't know, I'm not going to procrastinate, or different things that are a little more innate personality. Can you do that? Will that work?
The short answer would be yes. You can use it yourself. People, you know, through the guild of hypnotists, they're very moral. They're very conscious about staying within their training. So a psychiatrist, psychologist would be the one to work on, you know, on using it as a tool in their therapy. A lay hypnotist can give you the techniques and do it yourself, but might not use words like anxiety, but they would use stress. They say, well, you're going to relax yourself and not be so stressed. Let's say it's something, you know, you say psychological. Let's say you want to train yourself. I can just give out a suggestion and hope that my friend Dan won't shoot me down right away. But if you wanted to try using this to change your behavior, let's say you wanted to have something concrete. Just say, I will not scream at my child when he forgets his homework, or whatever. When he doesn't clean up, I won't hit him. Whatever it is. And then you just use that and just train yourself. And it's surprising how things that you repeat to yourself can go into your mind. It's way beyond my abilities, I believe, but many people use hypnosis for performance improvement because they tell themselves, I will put the ball into the hole. I will put the ball into the hole. I will put the ball into the hole. Tiger Woods, I don't know what Tiger Woods does, but he said that he uses hypnosis to improve his performance. So I don't see why you couldn't do it to modify your behavior. But, you know, there are things that we do to ourselves that are kind of destructive. Dan, I'm sure, has talked about that in his sessions. There are knee-jerk things we do, let's say, that you want to change. So try to use that. And to the extent that you become talented at programming yourself, you might be able to control your behavior. Dan, yes.
Wonderful talk again, Artie. I think, to your point to Ella's question, I think the ability is only limited by your determination and your motivation to affect the change. And Ella, if you're interested, there's a book by Scott Lewis, a little book on hypnosis. And I can get you more specific info on it, but it has all kinds of behaviors, more complex stuff that, that hypnosis can address. It's quite miraculous. Artie, I have a question. So I thought that 10 years ago, hypnosis helped me lose weight. And I talked to a college classmate of mine who's written a textbook on hypnosis, and he said, not so much. But I know in 10 years, I haven't had a good and plenty. I used to live on good and plenties. And so is there research? Because given the epidemic of overweight and obesity in America, I mean, that could be a blessing of a tool, and it doesn't have the side effects of drugs. So
Sure.
Is there research on weight loss? I thought it wasn't supposed to happen, but I know it happened with me, and I should refer some of my patients to you.
You will refer some of your patients to me.
Yes.
You refer some.
You don't have to program me. I'm going to do it.
Seriously though, here's the thing about it. The more your desire is, like Dan said, the more your desire is to be successful, and the more you want to do something, the more it's possible that this will work for you. A person who's dragged into a hypnosis class for smoking cessation and comes in and says, yeah, my significant other said that they were going to leave me unless I stopped smoking, so I'm here. That is not going to work. They are not going to be able to overcome it. Somebody, you know, has like a tremendous problem with weight and is forced into going into this, it's not going to work. It's just somebody who cannot overcome their urges. It's going to help you with your urges. That, I believe, it really helps. And Dan, who could tell whether or not you know, now the suggestion, you probably put that suggestion in your mind so that you control your eating. It may have started with that, but now you've internalized it. And you've sort of described really why hypnosis can work for these things. We alluded last time to the fact that Freud first started to use hypnosis to help his patients. And he said, well, it didn't work. He went to talk therapy. And that's how Dan was born. But, you know, because talk therapy can deal with deep-seated problems that are much more complex. But if it's just sort of like, oh my God, I just have this urge to eat chocolate, it's overwhelming, that maybe yields well to hypnosis. Or, you know, I'm going to exercise every day. And you really want to exercise. You just can't get yourself motivated. So you convince yourself with this, you know, would it be the same as if like a little voice in your head says, exercise, exercise, exercise. And then you're reminded, you know, that's kind of what it is. It's reminding you to do what you already set out. Yes, Riva.
Yes. I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Wonderful talk. Wonderful. I have a question about the breathing.
Yes.
Does it matter if you breathe in through your mouth or your nose? How do you do it? What is
No, I don't think so.
It doesn't matter.
The big key for the deep breathing, and if you take away one thing from this talk, it's how to really relax yourself with breathing, is that your belly is rising. If the diaphragm is dropping, your belly is expanding. Some people think that, you know, let me see if I can, some people think that a deep breath is their chest expands. But really, when people are talking about meditation or hypnosis to relax, they really want the deep breath to be from your gut. They want your belly. So what you could do is just to test it, take your dominant hand, if you're righty, put your right hand on your belly, take a deep breath and imagine a balloon inside your belly expanding, pushing your hand out. So if you can breathe like that, you are sucking in a lot more oxygen than if you're just moving your chest, because the diaphragm drops. And we talked about this last time I spoke. It also stretches the vagus nerve, which travels down through the diaphragm, which goes back to the brain, which stimulates endorphins, which are like the body's narcotic, and melatonin, which helps us sleep better. I have a problem with sleeping. So I get up in the middle of the night, I deep breathe, and I try to put myself back to sleep. And a lot of times I'll fall back asleep for another couple of hours, but I'll have to do something. I'll have to do something, and I find that helps. Is it the deep breathing? Is it counting backwards? Sometimes I'll listen to a wave. Sometimes I have a recording of myself, whatever it is. But the breathing alone probably could put you to sleep half the time. Just deep breathing and relaxing can help.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, nice to see you.